gives a benediction to vintage pot companies. Yeah, he loves those cordial blends now, smoking Sir Walter Raleigh. Has a medical as black as night now, packs that pipe down just right. Yeah, he reaches for his temper, matches are his preferred light. I bet he's smoking Granger, says the new stuff just ain't the same. Maybe he's smoking velvet, 'cause Burley's his middle name. Carries a hanky in his pocket, likes to smoke out on his day. Yeah, sometimes he'll try a new blend. Reek makes him a nervous wreck. What the heck? That he's smoking Granger, 'cause he's tired of playing games. Oh yeah, maybe some Prince Albert. Vintage is his claim to fame. He might try some Capstan, may even try GLPs. Having half is no problem, but Granger to him, yeah, means everything. Opened a vintage tin last night now, tin no smell just right. Oh yeah, gives a smile when the flame comes. Smoke that ash down to white. That's right, he's gonna smoke some Granger. Says the new stuff just ain't the same. Oh yeah, hell, let's smoke some Granger, 'cause Burley's his middle name. Oh yeah, yeah, light up some Granger. Oh, let's light up some Granger. 'Cause you know that new stuff just ain't the same.
Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed that montage of Granger through the years with your song from Robert Leslie. If you guys haven't checked out ENAS Dad, I'll put a link to his channel in the bucket. Great guy, very kind man. I thought it was only fitting to have him serenading as the as the different Grangers that I tried were playing on the screen. So a subscriber friend of mine asked about the latest incarnation of Granger, and I have tried it, but I didn't make a video about it. So this is technically a second impression, I guess. But anyway, this is now being made over in Denmark, much like all of the other codger blends now, with the exception of a couple that are made in Virginia. So I will do a little tasting here in my Medico 1934 patent pipe, and I'll let you know what I think of the different years, and I'll kind of sum them all up at the end for you guys. And so this is something that I've noticed with almost all of the new STG blends, or codger blends, is that I think they're moving away from propylene glycol as a preservative. Which is not a bad thing at all. But in its place, they're using vinegar. And that's very apparent, in my opinion, in pretty much all of the new codger blends, with the exception of half and half. I'll let it go out. The new half and half, I do not taste the vinegar in, but I do taste the vinegar. And again, this dissipates over time, you know, if you leave it in the tub or you put it in a jar or whatever. But at first bowl, if you crack open the tub, you know, you get this kind of almost McClellan vinegar stuff-esque for the McClellans that I've had in the past. You get a tiny bit with velvet, not much, but it is there if you look for it in the very beginning. Definitely Sir Walter Raleigh, definitely Granger, and then very, very little in half and half. So initial light was just kind of that vinegar topping, a little bit of nuttiness from the burley. I'm trying to use these last matches up here. There's nice, sweet, kind of raisiny, nutty burley. Very sweet. And again, I've just kept this in the tub, as you guys saw. I haven't jarred it up. It's retained its moisture pretty well. So you kind of get now that last bit, you know, like I said, sweet, kind of sweet burley, less of the vinegar. A little bit of that raisin in the background. Very nice. This 1934 pipe, I don't smoke often. For two reasons. One, I'm gonna try to show you this. I should have showed it to you first before I had it lit. There is a burnout right there that I have repaired. And 2, it's the 3rd oldest pipe I own. So I'm pretty gentle with it. So I'll go on the journey as I do in all my reviews and first impressions, and we'll come back to you in just a second. Hang with me. Welcome back, guys. All right, starting the final third. And I will not go real far into that because of the burnout repair. But Granger, current production. So this is a very good, light, sweet burley with a little bit of that vinegar that you're going to taste at the beginning. Quickly burns away, and then you're just left with nice, straightforward comfort blend, sweet burley, a little bit of raisin here and there. I don't get as much licorice in this as I did in the Tucker, Georgia version. So, okay, so from the 1930s, which is what I got to try, courtesy of Average John. Thank you very much, John. 1930s was a sweet, naturally sweet, I will never forget that, naturally sweet Virginia that was just so good. Did not burn hot, cool, but a very, I know I've already said it like 3 times, natural sweetness. To the point of, I don't think that the 30s Granger was burley. If it was more Virginia, and there was some burley maybe in it, but that was so sweet. But it was it was very natural. You could tell it was not topped. So going forward, in order of sweetness, then the next one would be the 2001 Granger. The 2001 Granger was made by Pinkerton in Owensboro, Kentucky, and a lot of people didn't like when the Codger blends went to Pinkerton. I read a lot about them, and I have to say, generally, that the Pinkerton blends that I've tried, I did enjoy. I've tried Pinkerton's Half and Half, I've tried Pinkerton's Velvet, and Pinkerton's Granger, and I really like them. However, I understand, and I went into it, of course I'd read about it, understanding that they were probably heavy-handed on the toppings. After all, they primarily did chewing tobacco. So chewing tobacco is sopping moist with a casing topping. So, but I love 2001 Granger, and I don't open the jar very much because I want to keep it the way that it is. It is so good. But that sweetness that's in the 2001 Granger, you can tell is a very sugary sweet, simple syrup topped experience. Contrast to the 1930. So then if we come to the next sweetest of the Grangers, I'm going to say the current production. The current production to me is a tad sweeter than the previous Tucker, Georgia incarnation. Just a shade sweeter, but it's very close to what the Tucker, Georgia was. So if you guys liked the Tucker, Georgia for its kind of more burly forward profile, that nuttiness, a little more earthy, a little bit of the licorice in the background, but not a ton of sweetness, then this is going to be a step up in sweetness without the licorice, in my opinion. I don't taste any licorice in this. So, and then finally, like I said, the least sweet to me was the previous version. So that's Granger through the years. This is not a bad representation. Average John and I were talking one day, and he believes that Granger may be the base tobacco for all of the other ones that they're doing now. It may be the base for Velvet and Sir Walter and Half and all that, and then they're just the actual base tobacco, and then they're just topping it differently. And I could see that, possibly. I mean, I figured it's on the same line, you know. Don't really care because I love them all. So, but anyway, hope that helps, guys. If you're new to coming into the piping hobby, I hope this kind of gave you a little bit of some insight onto some different Granger years. If you were to happen to find older tins or older tubs or Granger, yeah, well, Granger did come in pouches at one point. So, but anyway, okay. Until next time, as always, we'll see you very soon. Take care, guys.